Okay, it's September, I think it's 22nd today, and I've been out picking peppers. This is what I have. I've been picking all my hot peppers. You see in there, some Anaheim and cayenne, and I've been letting my jalapeno peppers go red. So I've been picking them here. Notice the skin's a little, I don't know, crusty, whatever. But I don't care. I just decided to let them go red and see how that works. I still have plenty on here to pick a little later on. So there's one thing I wanted to show you and tell you about my experience here with my hot peppers. These are my hot peppers. I've got my jalapeno, long red cayenne, and then the Anaheim in here. And what I did over here was I planted, I think they're orange. So I planted some orange peppers over here. You see down there, there's an orange pepper back in there. So you'll notice these little red things right here. These crossbred, cross-pollinated between the Anaheim and the hot peppers and my orange peppers. These are really hot. And I can't tell you the mistake I made when I was slicing these up to freeze them. And then I rubbed my eye without washing my hands, and then I wiped it again as soon as it became irritated, and it was really painful. So I'm telling you, keep your hot peppers away from your regular peppers. And on other news, everything's going well still with the peppers. They're ripening up really good. I wait until they're all the way ripe before I pick them. I'm going to pick this one. That one's still a little bit green. Still a little bit green down there. So that's what I do with my peppers. I wait until they're all the way ripe to pick them. But like all my other videos this year, whoops, geez, slipped it. All my peppers have done really, really well. See that one back in there? And of course, the guys are mowing next door, so no consideration for my work. Anyway, so that's the peppers. I'll show you a couple other things that's going on here too. These are my gold beets. They're really thick in there. I'd like to show you. See that? These are ready for me to pick. I waited probably an extra couple weeks, but look how big that is. That's really nice. So they're ready to go. I'm probably going to have to pick them this weekend. My peas, although not a lot of them came up, I'm still going to get peas here. They're starting to flower, and I've got peas. So right there, I got some peas. And I pick these when they're about like this, just starting to fill out. And get a little substance to them, if you want to call it that. This one's good and ready to go. That one, of course, isn't. See how this one's just still a little bit thin? But that's when I pick my peas, because they're still young and tender. And you see how these grew up along the netting really nicely. And even if all the peas had come up here, they'd still be easy to get into and look at and find the peas and pick everything, and they wouldn't get all gnarly and wrapped up together and hard to get into. So the peas have done well, and those beets are ready to go too. Well, here's some beets I planted, some golden red, Detroit dark red, and I planted them around this rogue pepper plant, which this is the long red cayenne. So this one's starting to ripen. I don't know if I'm going to leave these in here or not. I've got this one over here too. These are really nice. Look how full those are. These are how they're supposed to be. The ones over here in the other bed didn't quite get as large as I thought they would. Some of them got like these down here, but otherwise I still got a huge yield out of these because I planted these, I think, 11 inches apart this year, so I really put them close together to maximize my yield. Now here's my containers. Now I had planted these with lettuce. Now this container right here I planted and I cut, and then I just let it go to see if I can get some more. So this grew back right. These are leftover radishes that hadn't developed, and so I just leave them in here a couple more weeks just to see what would happen. And nothing's really happening. They're just not developing very well. And they're still mowing next door, so I'll speak up. these two containers had grown really well, and then I got bugs or something in here and just ravaged right on through them, killed almost everything. So I think I'm gonna have to rethink my container lettuce for next year. So here's my green beans. These are Jade 2 variety. They're a wax bean. They've started producing. You see there's a lot of flowers on here. They've started producing. Now I found out last year when I grew these for the first time that they produce over a period of like 3 weeks or more. And I get these really nice larger beans. Let's see if I can find some big ones here. But they're all falling over because, first of all, they're right here by the edge of the house. When I get a really heavy rain, the downspout can't handle it, so it overflows and it knocks my beans down. But the other reason they're falling down is because they're really tall. So you can see how tall these are. They're about 3 feet or more tall, so they get a little top heavy, so they just won't stand up even though they're bush beans. But anyway, these are the kind of beans I'm getting off of this. They're really nice. Get the leaves out of the way. These things get 6, 7, 8 inches long, and they get filled out really nicely, and they're a really good bean to grow. They really freeze well, and they can well also. But I've already picked 3 pounds of beans. I went through this 3 to 4 days ago, and I'm going to have to go through this probably, you know, at least 2 or 3 more times to before they're done producing. Oh, both my pumpkins are still growing a little bit. This one was 26.5 inches. I measured about 5 or 6 weeks ago. It's grown some more. It's about 28 inches long now. I don't know, it might weigh 10 pounds. That one over there might weigh 7 or 8. But these are my lemon peppers. They're 11 lemon cucumbers, and the poor things just didn't make it. So I didn't plant these. This was pretty much an afterthought, and I put them down in there, oh, I don't know, beginning of middle of June, sometime like that, and I just did it from seed, but they just didn't turn out very well. The pumpkin are still growing out here. They're sending out suckers. I just decided to let them go because I want good leaves, not the dying leaves down over here, so they keep producing, so the pumpkins keep growing. And over here, this is my experiment with my radishes. Let me come around here. I planted radishes 2 inches together, or 2 inches apart, and 3 inches apart. See, I wanted to see which one would produce the most weight, the larger radishes, or have the most yield for that large of an area. So they came up, and I thinned them out really quickly so they don't get leggy. Like these beets here, I left them, I didn't thin them out for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they got leggy, so they're all falling down. You see, these didn't get leggy, so they're nice and sturdy and standing up pretty much. So a couple more weeks, I'm going to see how they do, but they should be done in about 3 more weeks and ready to pick. So this is a mum plant that we got in like a, I don't know, it was a 2.5 gallon little container that my wife got for her birthday last year, and decided to bring it out here, and it just went nuts. So if you want to plant your containers out in the garden someplace, this is what could happen. Here's one of my 2 carrot beds. They're doing really well. I pretty much got them going and left them alone. I get in there and weed every couple of weeks or so, but they're growing well, but they're not, the roots aren't filling out yet. But I'm going to leave these in the ground for as long as I can and see how big they get. You know, they're pretty much an afterthought right now because they're just doing really well by themselves. Well, just went out and picked my peppers. So I've got my Anaheim, long red cayenne, the jalapeno, these little hot crossbreeds, an orange, some yellow, and these are my large red. These really get nice, just as good as you can get at the store, maybe better. And they're not hothouse peppers, they're organic. I guess you can say organic because I don't use pesticides or anything on my plants. So anyway, that's it for today. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel if you would, appreciate it. And I will be back soon with more stuff. Bye bye.